Corn Queens and Gentle Xenos. Coming to you live from Rick Priestley's palatial mansion. This is the #1 Xenos shit show on the internet, the Creature Conference. And here is your host, Mr. Ping.
Hello and welcome to the internet's #1 Xenos shit show. I'm your host, Modern Synthesist, otherwise known as Mr. Pink. And I am joined by my erstwhile companion, Flynnhammer. Flynnhammer, you want to say hello to the people?
Hello, people.
Hello! Thank you for joining me this evening. We are not joined by Hydra, unfortunately, because he has spawnling issues to deal with. Nothing major, just, you know, the normal average spawnling issues. So we wish him luck with his spawnling issues while we get talking about, I don't know, Xenos nonsense. Flynnhammer, what's been up with... Wait, before we get into that, before we forget, Flynnhammer, what part of Rick Priestley's palatial mansion are we coming to people live from this week?
We're coming from him, from his mines.
His mines?
His mines, because he yearns for them.
Oh, nice. Having recently... oh, no, shit, I fucked up. Okay, wait, there we go. Having recently done a thing that we're not going to go into detail about, but it's going to become apparent soon. Have we ever come from the mines before?
We have never come from the mines.
You're a good man.
Basements are on top of basements, but never the mines.
I'm glad you did this because you're the right man for the job this week.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit cool down here, which I don't mind. Got to put on an extra sweater because the mines are, you know, drippy and cold. But I brought my light setup. I brought my streaming setup. I think we're gonna be okay. Watch out for bats, Flynn. I hear there's lots of bats in mines.
Yeah. They're just above us, the bats. I know that.
What?
We're deeper down than where the bats are.
Oh, are we gonna have to start worrying about Balrogs?
Potentially.
Oh no! Whose idea was this? Anyway, hi, welcome. This is our bi-weekly hobby stream, not to be confused with our other bi-weekly hobby stream, where I talk to a couple of Americans and a different German, which happens on Wednesdays. And fun fact, we are about to come up on the 4-year anniversary or the 5-year anniversary?
4 years.
4-year anniversary of the Creature Conference. The Creature Conference started in February of 2021, and we're coming up on February of 2025, so we've got some shenanigans planned. Flynnhammer's already been working on those shenanigans, which I appreciate. We're going to see if Hydra can contribute to some of those shenanigans. And our next stream together will be the 4th anniversary stream. So you can look forward to that in 2 weeks' time. But let's not talk about the future because we're here in the present. So presently, how are you doing, Flynnhammer?
Doing all right. I've been maddening building again. But it's mainly for
you were supposed to be painting this year.
Well, it's getting the trolls built, which... they are all now built, the trolls.
Okay.
So that was one of the goals. So the next bit is spraying. Now, it's too cold, too windy, because we've got the storm happening now here in the UK. So going to have to be delayed for a little while. Which has also brought me on to doing my next bit of just hobbying stuff of waiting to do. Which right now involves me making... Fire Slayers into the old world Dwarf Slayers.
Oh,
and all that involves putting
that's
a web
okay.
base on them.
Flynnhammer, I often say that I don't care about dwarves. Dwarves can go to hell. But Slayers have a warm fuzzy part in my a warm and fuzzy part of my heart. So good work on the Slayer project.
Yeah. Because it's one of the bits I like about the old world, and you can use there's Age of Sigmar models there that are just ripe for the using, which is just brilliant. I think, because why would you not use the model that's been a more up-to-date version?
How are Fire Slayers different from normal Slayers?
Well. One, they're different worlds technically.
Oh, no. I don't care about deep dwarven lore, to be clear. I still maintain my point that I don't care about dwarves. But tell me, like, aesthetically speaking, like the miniatures. What
Oh,
is the key difference that you're going to need to
plastic.
modify?
Is I'm not really doing any modification because the main bit is these guys are plastic. So if I wanted to do anything, it's easier, and you've got more ability to pose them with the models because they're multi-part kit. Whereas the Slayers are just the old metal Slayers that haven't really with the same Slayers for many editions. So with this, it gives me like a unit that's very much more unique, that I can just change things up a little bit, which is one thing I really like about it.
Sorry, I was misunderstanding that you had to do like heavy conversions to make this happen.
Oh, no. I'm just putting them on a square base. Just got to build them.
You're just okay. Never mind. Never mind.
The other bit that I am going to be doing though is I know you don't really care that much about the old world, but in the old world arcane journal, so for the codexes, if you like, for the individual armies, to make them worthwhile buying, apart from like them having some special characters in there, they also have special units in there. And they actually tell you what to do to represent things on the tabletop because they're not ones that they sell.
Wait, are you telling me that Games Workshop created a pseudo codex book where they put a unit in it that doesn't have a model and they're suggesting a conversion?
They are telling you to convert.
I might be interested in Old World after all, Flynn. You may have just sold me on it.
Because I know for the Orcs and Goblins, they have a Black Orc boar chariot.
Yeah.
Now, they don't see any Black Orcs on chariots, but what they say to do is you take the the normal Orc boar chariot, and you put Black Orcs on there. So what I'm doing is I've got from the Moor Grunter, the Age of Sigmar Big Pig.
Oh, I know the Big Pig. Don't you worry. I'm a big fan of the Big Pig. So
using the boys from that, because they're in the big Black Orc armor, because they basically look like Black Orcs if you just paint them the right way. Yeah. Putting those on a chariot instead, and it's just an easy conversion. There's other ones that done is the Road Wardens for the Empire, which is basically giving putting people on horses with crossbows.
Sounds simple enough.
Yeah, it's simple enough, but it's like they've given you that free lance. The dwarves had Royal Wardens, so with all of them, they were suggesting things to do. So as I said, for the Orcs, that's what they said, is use the boar chariot with Black Orc bits. The Road Wardens is use Empire Pistoliers with crossbows. The Royal Wardens were get the hammer / longbeard box, but use the weapons for one set, but on the bodies of the other. Okay. So basically, it's just having you to kit bash your units to give them uniqueness.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so that's what you've been up to. I've been doing very little hobby. I've been a bad hobby beaver lately. I did a little bit of work on my long-suffering Norn Emissary Dimacaron Metal Gear Solid Lictor thing. I want to say it's almost done. I think I need to have one more session with it where I sit at it and obsessively pore over it to see where I missed filling in parts with green stuff. And then I think I might have to do a little more. I put a back tentacle on it, like not a tail, but like a back tentacle. I might have to do a little more work on that. But other than that, I think it's done. So I did do a little bit of hobby this week, but when I was looking at that and I was looking at my homunculus dudes that I worked on Work in Progress Wednesday, like different version for racks, I wasn't feeling inspired. So what inspired me was coming back to project for Darth Bob. Oh, not Darth Bob. Voices on Silent. Shane, who stars on our other hobby stream 1,000 years ago. Not 1,000 years ago. A while back, Shane commissioned me to make him a version of the Carnifex I made years ago, Hell, and I was like obsessed with it. And then there was a sketch from Inquis Exterminatus, and I tried to base it on that. So Shane was like, hey, when you finish your own Hell, will you consider making one for me? And I was like, do you know me at all? Why would I need to finish mine to make one for you? So I started work on a big beefy boy for Shane. And Shane did the thing that a lot of people do, which is the worst possible thing you can do when you ask someone to do a commission. Lynn, are you paying attention?
I gave you a time limit.
I have no deadline. Oh, get to it whenever. That's basically saying I don't want it ever. So I'm getting back to it. It's based on some really radical concept sketches that we got Roberto Cirillo to do for us. It's a dream project. So yeah, I'm coming back to this big boy. And you know what? The reason I should have finished this a long time ago, when we were doing the concepts for this guy, I think I've talked about this before, but in case you missed it, we wanted to put a tail on him, but I don't like I wanted him to have kind of like a linebacker, like very heavy upper body sort of thing. Big giant claws. Like here's one of his claws. They are staunch, chonky bits. I didn't want to put a tail on his hips because I felt like it would screw with the proportions of the model. I had this idea to mount the tail kind of like a continuation of the spine off the back of his head and like over his back and then down here, and not mount it on the hips. So I gave him a back tail instead of a tail. Games Workshop has since introduced back tails on lictors, but they foolishly gave them a tail and then a back tail as well, which I think is an interesting idea, but not how I would handle it. So this guy's like I tried this on a warrior, but I didn't finish the warrior either. So this guy's kind of like my proof of concept for that, and it's something that I'm still very excited about, and I think it works a lot better in like doing the whole like linebacker look.
Yeah.
I don't know much about football, but American football, but the linebacker is the big ripped dudes in American football who block people. I think. I don't even know. That's what I'm referring to. Yeah, so this is and it's called The Red Dragon. It's based on the Robert Blake, I believe, poem about the Red Dragon. It's got elements of the poem in the actual model. And then it talks about how the Red Dragon has like thrown down a woman with the sun in her hair or something like that. So we've got a busted up sculpture of Saint Celestine. This guy's going to be just like chilling on it, being like, "Ha, you think you're a big deal? I kicked your butt." So yeah, I trolled people a long time ago by showing pieces for this model with these wings, and people be like, "Oh my god, Tyranids with feathered wings." I was like, "Haha, psych. I don't like Tyranids with wings." Anyway, that's what I'm working on. How are things in the chat? Who's up in the chat, Flynn?
So we have Bargeist here, was very early going.
Bargeist is here
in the dark.
Oh, Bargeist! So good to see you, buddy. Always happy to have you along.
We've got Radon 995.
Hello, Radon. Good to see you again.
Sylvia.
Sylvia, I think I remember seeing Sylvia before. Sylvia, is this your first time? I think you were here before. I can't remember.
Seen Sylvia before. We have Diana.
Diana, always a reliable friend on the stream. Thank you, Diana, for joining us.
Got Tom Wilson.
Tom Wilson, the other half of the reliable friendship pair of Diana and Tom. Also amazing to see you, Tom. Actually, Tom, I wanted to tell you another update on my, what's it called, Flint? Sports what? The mug? Sports Direct. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So I mentioned on stream once that I needed a large mug. I love large mugs. Tom was a dear, and when he came to meet me at Warhammer World, he brought me not one, but two very large mugs. I was only able to fit one of them in my luggage, so the other one is sitting at Nora's cousin's house waiting for me to return for it. Because they're extremely large. And in the last week, I had my best maid over, one of my best friends who's a lady, who's like kind of like one of my best men at my wedding. And she was like, I'm like, "Oh, do you want some tea?" She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "But I need a big mug." I'm like, "Oh, have I got a big mug for you?" And she was very happy.
3 tea bags for that thing.
All right, who else is in the chat?
Electro Dust Bunny.
Hello, Electro Dust Bunny. Electro Dust Bunny, I saw your sculpt of your toad frog on the Discord. You did an amazing job. It looks so good. Great work.
And then there's two people who I don't think I've seen before. We've got Dino Boy Legos and MOCs.
Okay, Dino Boy, thank you for joining. Explain to me what MOCs is, because I see this MOC term with like Lego, like cool Lego conversions all the time. you please tell me what that means in the chat? Sorry, go ahead, Flynn.
As they say, your models are such a huge inspiration for me with my own Tyranid models.
Oh, thanks. Happy to hear it.
Yeah.
Glad to be of service.
So another new person that I've seen is the Teal Prince, and they say, "So glad to finally catch a stream."
Hey, Teal Prince, we're glad to have you. Thank you for joining us.
And Dan Kaplinger, our woodcarver, has just turned up as well.
Woody Dan. Oh, Woody Dan, I meant to tell you, I got that thing that you were advising me. Oh crap. Quick release for a reason. So for anyone who cares about photography, despite the fact that I'm filming this stream on a mirrorless Nikon, I am very much in love with a particular lens from my old like DSLR Nikons. This is a 50 1.4. Is it an AFD? I don't know. It's not a very expensive lens. I got it for like $200 used. It's good times, but I love taking pictures of this thing. You can't use it on the new mirrorless cameras because it's got like a weird autofocus thing. So I really wanted to use this, and I used that as an excuse to buy a new old camera. Nikon DF, which is a it's a full frame camera. It's not mirrorless. It's definitely mirrored. You can see it's got the prism in there, the like flicky. Well, the prism's up here. Got the like mirror in there that flicks up and down. And it's a weird little camera because it's styled like the old Nikons. So I wanted to get a grip for it, and I found this grip online that was wood, and I thought that would look real cool because this camera reminds me of the cameras my dad used to use, and my dad was like a woodworker. So I talked to Dan Kaplinger because these guys were selling like different kinds of wood grips and like ebony, sandalwood, and something else I can't remember right now. Walnut, maybe. And the sandalwood was pitched as being like orangey. It's not very orangey. So like I finally got the bits from these guys. It's okay. The grip is not perfect, but I'm getting used to it. So it's got like a plate on the bottom that mounts. Got this wooden thing here. So Dan was advising me on like the various woods that they offer and like if it looked legit based on like the weights that they were listing and stuff like that. So thanks, Dan. It showed up and I'm using it happily. Good to see you.
Yeah, so a few guys have been saying what they've been up to in the chat as well.
Nice. We got.
So I'm going to go back to some of them in a moment because regards to the kit. But Electric Dust Bunny says the fossil record shows that Tyranids may have had feathers, but this is still debated.
Dino lizards from space. Yeah. A little bit crustacean thrown.
Radon says they've been suffering tuning in their printer.
Oh, 3D printer, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm guessing that because they can be from what I know is it can be a pain. Like if you've changed resin to a different resin brand, or even same resin brand but a different type of resin, you have to go through the whole calibration stuff for it, which can take forever. So that's why I don't blame it. But even if like you just got even just leveling out and everything, make sure everything's there, it can be hard for it. Dan says excellent, and he likes the wood. He goes, ooh, the wood grip. Yeah, and so Diana says, in regards to kit bashing, I'm surprised GW don't encourage more kit bashing. Why sell one kit when you can sell 3 to make one model?
Absolutely, Diana, 100%. Yes, kit bashing is just telling people to buy more models. Like, it seems ridiculous and silly. Maybe it's because they don't feel like they can like properly support it or something, or maybe because you can't easily kit bash the way they build the models. Like they build them so that people can have an easy time building them for the first time or building them almost without glue. And then if they were telling people to kit bash, they'd also have to tell people to pin, but who knows? Who knows?
I don't know if they still sell their pin vice, but with all of the stuff they've got
I don't think they do. Really good question. Wait, did I use all of my putty?
I'll check that up while we're here. But one thing I noticed, because they've brought back
Didn't use
loads of the old plastic kits, which have loads of spare bits in them, because they're always multi-part kits.
Yep.
It was like, build this one or build this one. So it makes perfect sense for them to say like, oh yeah, you bring your spare bits over from this one. Also encourages people to buy other boxes.
Yep.
So, for example, if you're like, oh, I've never really thought about doing the I want an all-mounted army, but I want to take some crossbows. Now with the Road Wardens for Empire, I can take crossbows.
Yep.
Or I want a Black Hawk chariot, but they've never ever had Black Hawk chariots. I can do that. So it does give you that extra bit of what you can do, which is quite good, I think, personally.
Oh, I don't know. For some reason, the Games Workshop has set its canon against self-conversion.
They still actually sell a drill, pin vice.
Well, they do. That's surprising.
Yeah, it's out of stock at the moment in the UK.
Advanced kits, Forge World.
Yeah. Also, for many people, drilling your barrels of your bolters.
Good point.
Or for some Tyranny players, drilling your devourers.
Yeah, you should drill those.
Yeah. I've seen it, and it's just like, okay, that does level them up a lot.
I am an always driller. Yeah. Also an always pinner.
To me, it depends on what I'm doing, if I need to pin or not.
Well, I will regularly pin plastic pieces, not trust plate.
Yeah. Even though plastic glue just melts the pieces together, it depends on what type of plastic you've got connected.
Yeah, and how big your piece is. Can that little joint support the weight?
I was thinking more old plastic, because it melts them and chemically bonds them together. It should hold it, but that would be where the weak point is. For me, it's I found this out. Old GW plastic goes rock hard after a number of years. Either it had sun damage to it, or it just goes rock hard, making it very brittle. Because when I did that warrior with the long gun, I used one of the venom cannons I had in my stuff, my kit bits, and that one was just brittle. One side had been like, I think in the sun or something, and it was just rock hard. To the other side was still a bit soft.
Yeah.
So could have had a bit where it wouldn't stick to one, but it would the other side, which has been a bit of an interesting situation. Yeah. Okay. So the Teal Prince also said, I am returning to working on their Zinch collection after a long hiatus. Just finished wrapping up a giant sci-fi / fantasy exhibition. Thousands of minis to transport, along with many glass cabinets.
I want to hear more about that.
Yes.
Tell us more about that. Also, Teal Prince is an excellent name if you're into
it. Yeah. And Tom Wilson says they, since it got missed earlier, MOC in Lego terms means my own creation.
Oh.
Which makes a lot of sense.
We could use that. That's like our kit bashes. MOC, baby, my own creation.
Yeah.
Like that. Thank you for educating us.
Okay. And Diane says, I'm trying to find crafts for my sister's church group. It's Easter making session. I have no idea how I get roped into these things.
Ask Diana. She's creative.
Yeah. That's always the way with these random bits.
Oh.
Okay, the lecturer said I need to give a Tyrannofex feathers. I disagree.
I would not do that, but you go right ahead.
Yeah.
But I'm also like anti-winged, so I don't know.
Well, we know which side of the strike divide you come down on then.
Yeah, Shrikes I'll tolerate just because I like you, Flynn. Otherwise, not big. Made the one. It was pretty cool. It was as good as I can do for a winged nid. I don't feel any need to do more winged nids.
Because that has got me thinking. Because
Although, wait, I say that, but have you seen Will's latest concept in the Discord for the Harpy?
oh, like the pterodactyl alligator
Yes.
faced. Yeah,
that might be selling me on some winged knit. That is pretty freaking cool.
I think a lot of it is like the actual overall design of how it looks.
Yeah, he's selling it. Like he's well, I guess he's making it look like a dinosaur, which I'm into dinosaurs, even if I'm not into winged.
Yeah.
Apparently Tyranids are dinosaurs. So
Yeah. Space lizards that act like bugs.
yeah, that works for me. I'm down.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, still got some fish there. Daka Flame turns up.
Daka Flacka Flame. Daka Flacka? Isn't it Daka Flacka?
Yes. Daka Flacka.
Thank you for joining us, Daka Flacka Flame. Good to see you as always. Longtime friend of the channel.
Yeah. Been a while since I've seen you around these parts.
Yep. Apparently I'm working here.
There's no way I can do that. Okay. Alright. The only bit is I realised I do actually need to do a little bit of a conversion on the dwarves.
How to do it.
Because they don't have a banner in their kit. Because I'm using the Berserkers, and they don't come with a banner. They have a musician, they have a champion, but no banner. So I'm using some spare other bits I have from an old conversion I've done. I'm just figuring out how I'm going to stick this together. But I think my chisel blade I've left in the other room, so I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, Chisel Blade. Speaking of Chisel Blade, we are going to be doing a stream sometime soon where we're going to be talking about our favorite hobby tools. Because Flynn suggested that. I think that's a good idea. Helpful to some folks. I'm sure we've talked about them before, but just to focus on. But we do want to make sure that.
Yeah.
Because he has many. Oh yeah, you can go do your thing if you need.
Yeah, I was going to grab that now.
Yeah, he has many cool tools, and I probably talk. I look forward to that, and also we would like to hear more a cool discussion of like a hobby tool standard that you folks. I'd love to hear about it.
And if by magic, I've got it ready.
Oh, what ready?
So I knew exactly where it was. It was just I put it away, and it was like realized I'd need it now. Yeah, it was just that reason at all. I was just thinking. I'm not going to go into any details now, but I was thinking of like a whole what would be good for like a starter person, rather than like because whenever you see the videos, it's always like get this, and it's just like there's no explanation of why.
Yeah,
they're good for people. So I know Simon from last week's stream. Simon was talking about that, and I know it'd be an interesting topic. But I definitely want him in there for it.
definitely.
So Daka says job change has meant they mostly have to watch the VODs.
I understand. This is a weird time. Like I'm in North America, and the reason we started late is because I have to finish work like right. And sometimes that works out well, and other times it doesn't work out well. Today it did not.
Were we really bothered? No.
Well, thank you for being patient, especially you, Flynn. Where I'm like, you were here at 4:45 on the dot. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be there closer to 5, and then it was really 5:05, 5:10.
Does this stream ever start on time? No.
I think once or twice.
Multiple of us. We've started early.
Once or twice we've started on time.
Yeah.
Early is on time in Japan.
Yeah. Oh, so Teal Prince says, me and a friend organized the local hobby space and events. The exhibition was an effort to show our open hobby. I'm just reading a second. So the exhibition was an effort to show how open the hobby is and open the doors to the public,
Cool.
and it's an effort to grow the hobby.
That sounds awesome. Sounds like a really cool idea.
So Teal, without doxing or anything else, like
Yeah, whereabouts are you?
yeah,
North America, Europe?
that's some little village away from everything, trying to grow more people. What sort of the situation for your hobby?
Big city? Yeah, good question. Good question. So I feel like if you're in the UK, like that's growing the hobby is one thing. If you're in Japan, it's completely different.
The rise of Gundam. Ah, Finland.
Finland, cool. Wait, what do I know? Kitos. I know Kitos. I know Buhelin. I had a Finnish best friend when I was a kid. His mom would
What I
always
know
go,
about Finland.
Mika Buhelin. Buhelin. Also, Teal Prince, I don't know if you caught this before. I'm half Estonian, which is not Finnish, but, you know, adjacent.
The one thing I remember about Finland, the White Death.
What is the white? Oh, is that vodka? The
Nope.
White Death.
The White Death, correct me if I'm wrong, Teal Prince, but the White Death was a sniper during World War II.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So but you're saying he's in a small town though, but he's in a Swedish-speaking town though. Now, what I know about the White Death, he has the highest confirmed kills, and so he didn't use a scope at all because it would get in the way of him and it would fog up.
Oh.
He would eat the snow, keep his breath cold so it wouldn't give away his position.
Come on.
Yeah, because it's all of that. Because obviously fighting in Sweden really cold.
Wait, Sweden or Finland?
Finland, because it was on the border with fighting the Russians.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the Second World War in like the Baltic states and the Nordic states is mostly fighting Russians rather than fighting the Germans.
Yeah, and what happened was like the day after or the day of he came out of a coma, the peace treaty was signed.
Oh.
Because it's like, oh no, we have reports he's awake. I've left a lot of stuff into it, but yeah.
I can never remember if it's my grandfather or my great uncle. I think maybe both of them, or maybe it was my grandfather fought in this called the Suomi Boisid, which is like the Finnish boys. It's Estonians who fought for the Finnish army during the Second World War.
Yeah. There's always that you find these weird and wacky stories. Like, have you ever heard of how the SAS was formed? Apparently,
what is the SAS?
The SAS is the Special Air Service. It's basically the people now that if the UK has a big problem with, they're the ones we call in. So you know how like the Americans got SEAL Team 6?
Oh, so they're like special forces.
They're special forces. They're the original special forces.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So there's like a dramatized series called SAS Rogue Heroes, and they've got 2 seasons already done. One of it's when they first get formed in the African deserts, and the next one is they're in like Italy. working their way up, and basically what happens to them.
Yeah.
It's I know a lot of it's been dramatized, but it's a good series. And if you're interested in that sort of thing, I'd definitely say to watch it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So all fun and games, really. If you look at history, that's always something interesting to find. Don't say if it's good or bad. It's interesting, though.
Well,
Ah,
talk about history, but like it's getting to be a little current for some folks. Russia being
yeah,
at war.
better less said on that than anything else, really, because I get it. Even though I don't work in politics, I get politics thrown at me all day by the general public, and
At
it's
the bank?
I don't no, I don't work at the bank. I work at one of the regulators now here in the UK.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I get all of that stuff when people are like, "It's bureaucracy gone mad. This government can't do this," regardless of who's in power. People will say it, and it's just that I just get sick of the politics on both sides.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, for me, it's just a hobby. It's just like politics. No,
Listen,
I will
I work in
share
labor.
viewpoints.
I work in labor a lot.
Mm.
I basically swim in politics. Our provincial government just announced that we're going to have an election in like 4 weeks. The government was elected 2.5 years ago, but they say they need a new mandate to deal with Trump, his tariffs. So yeah, my February just got a lot more.
Yeah. Well, aren't you guys actually meant to be going to the polls
Yes,
anyway this
federally,
year?
yes. So the reason it has long been speculated that our provincial government, which is conservative, was going to hold an early election because there's a belief in Canada that if the federal government is liberal, that's a good time for conservatives to get elected. And if the federal government is conservative, that's a good time for liberals to get elected. So it's fairly certain that the next federal government of Canada is going to be conservative because the liberals
Yeah.
have been in power for too long. People are tired of them, blah, 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 blah. And so apparently our provincial conservative government wanted to get reelected before the federal election because if they had to have a provincial election after the federal election and it was like conservatives at both levels of government, they were worried they were going to get voted out. The leader of our conservative party provincially is an idiot. Like he's
That's
just an idiot. He's just out to keep power. He just
bored or
bribed
something?
people by sending them $200 in like a rebate check just before he called the election in the hope that he can buy their votes. Like it's
Isn't it Ford or something, or whatever his name
Ford.
is?
Yes, Ford. He's an
Yeah.
idiot. His brother was an even bigger idiot. He was the crack smoking mayor of Toronto. You may have heard about a mayor of Toronto who's smoking crack while in office. This is his older brother. That guy died, cancer. Now his older brother is in charge of our province and would love to be in charge of our country. He's trying to be like Captain Canada, fighting Trump, whatever.
Yeah, you've got the problem of you've got your prime minister has stepped down, which is always fun.
Well, he needed to go for a while.
Yeah,
He was supremely unpopular. He also, like, he pissed me off right away because he got elected saying he was going to do electoral reform. And then he got elected by the old electoral system. He's like, this system's fine. We don't need to change it.
everyone always says it, and then they get elected by it, and they're like, "No, we don't need to change it." And I honestly think you do need to change it because I take it you've got first past the post system like
Yeah,
we've
it's
got here in
junk.
the UK.
Junk.
Yeah,
Well, you
and to
guys
me
gave
it's
it
just
to
like,
us. Thanks.
well, I didn't.
No, I mean,
I
like,
got given to me.
Canada being a British colony. Like, oh, we
Well, I
should use
got given to me
this.
by being an Irish.
What?
My family's all from Ireland.
Okay, sorry. It's not your fault. You guys are great.
Yeah.
Go potatoes.
Speaking of which, I've applied to get my actual Irish stuff sorted out.
Cool. You have, you said?
I've applied to get it sorted out, so it's going to take. I'm a month in so
That's
far to the
exciting.
first bit of the process, which
So you could be an EU citizen.
again, yeah, but going back to being EU, yeah. So basically, I need to get foreign birth registry sorted out, which can take up to 9 months of them processing the application.
Yeah.
Then once I have that application done, I then I have to go through the passport application bit, which should be easier because I'd already be on the foreign birth registry. The foreign birth registry is the hardest bit to do.
Okay. Is this a British thing or an Irish thing, the foreign birth?
Irish bit because
oh right, you were
because
born in the UK, right?
Born in the UK, but so my parents were born here. I was born here, but my grandparents are from Ireland. So 100% everyone's from Ireland. It's just
I got to go through this for
never needed to do it
Estonian.
before.
I got Estonian citizenship through my grandparent. Never done anything with it. Have the passport. At the time, I was dating someone who was from the UK, so we thought me having EU citizenship might help if you like decided to live in Europe.
Yep.
That didn't last, but I still have the passport. Yay!
Which makes it easier for you if you ever go over to any of the other countries.
Well,
you can
theoretically, but I'm traveling with Nora, who is not an EU citizen. Yeah. So, like, what am I going to do? Breeze through and leave her in the chump line?
You could collect the bags, have them ready for her.
Good point.
Then
don't you collect them? I'll use next time. Oh, I'm going to go get the bags, honey. Good luck in this giant lineup.
Yeah, but you have to go. I can't remember if you've got to present which passport you have to present for it. They're actually like really strict with it.
Well, the thing that has concerned me is that I've been told that, like, if I'm traveling with my Estonian passport and not my Canadian passport, that might cause issues if I ever was in a situation where I needed the support of the Canadian government. But I don't know how.
Oh, I would say you could always travel with both passports.
Yeah, but I think that the one you enter with is somehow important. I've never done it because I was afraid that it would be weird.
I think it's the one that you enter with is the nationality you were declaring when you went to the country to do whatever, which can then cause issues later on, supposedly.
I've never tried it.
I can always do the...
Oh, I should have done it when I went to Germany to see Simon. Nora wasn't with me. That would have been the best time to do it.
Yeah. Always the 20 hindsight, 2020 vision, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else is going on in the chat?
Yeah. So Radon says a crack smoking mayor sounds like something from the US.
Oh, these guys grew up in Detroit. No, Detroit? They grew up in Detroit? No, they grew up in Chicago or something. They very much want to be.
Yeah.
Like our premier wants to bring in all kinds of, wants to privatize our healthcare system because unfortunately that's a provincial responsibility, and he's already a long way along in doing that. It's trash.
Radon also says that their family popped up from Lithuania.
Oh, cool! We're like neighbors. Neat. I don't know any Lithuanian, unfortunately.
I went to school with a few.
Well, I know Lithuanians. I just don't know the language.
Oh, yeah.
I can, like, say some words in Finnish, sort of. Oh, wait, if you're Swedish, if he's in a Swedish-speaking part of Finland, is Hydra a thing in Swedish, or is that just Norwegian? No, they're like... I also know Danish food items, because I worked in a Danish bake.
Yeah. Well, the Teal Princess say, we welcome you back to the EU.
Oh, that's probably you,
That's
Flynn.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Hey, I've still got some time to go. I've still got to wait another 8 months with their normal length of time for the process. Just because when the Brexit was announced, apparently it was the highest number of applications they had ever received.
Smart.
In the
like,
space. So,
forget this. I need to be part of the EU.
Yeah.
Too bad you can't get duty breaks buying stuff from the EU and shipping it to the UK. I'm an EU citizen. Don't charge me duty.
No, it's because I get charged it coming into the UK charges it. Like you've bought something outside, you need to pay tax on it. It's like, what? It's mine. Why am I paying tax to you for something I bought?
Listen, we get that in Canada all the time.
But the best bit for it is, though, I would pay tax for where I buy it in Germany or wherever country in the EU.
Yeah.
Because obviously they have it on their prices. Then I get taxed when it comes into the UK by customs if they decide to tax it, which is at their thing. But Teal Prince says that back to you. I can't. Hydra, wherever it is.
Hydra, yeah, Hydra. So Teal Prince. Oh, I don't know if you have family. I have family in Sweden right now, but assuming you're Finnish, but Swedish speaking Finnish. I didn't know that was a thing. Interesting. It's near the border. Oh, and Teal Prince also said that the Finnish fought alongside the Germans at times and then chased the Nazis out after the war. Yeah, so like the Baltic states and the Nordic states, they mostly fought the Russians, but there was some sketchy stuff about them. I don't know about like always supporting the Germans, but like I've heard that there is some anti-Semitic shit that happened in Estonia and like Latvia, Lithuania. So that's not cool.
Yeah. But everyone's fought for both sides. If you look back through history, every country has fought on the wrong side at some point.
Oh yeah, dude, my country tried to like exterminate indigenous people.
Yeah.
We're totally crap on that count.
Yeah. I had one I was looking at in chat. I can't find it right now. So Daka Flaka says, my state switched to ranked choice voting by referendum, but then almost switched back the next year by referendum because of, in their opinion, some short-sighted people.
Oh no. I'm glad they didn't switch back. Man, we all need to have that ranked ballot again. Like in Canada, it would be huge because we have our Conservative Party. So there's like the one Conservative Party. There's like a wackadoodle Conservative Party that thinks they're a thing called the People's Party of Canada. They've never had anyone elected, but they're like far right conservative. But then we've got a bunch of like left-leaning parties. Like the Liberals are like centrist, maybe lean a little left, probably less so after like Trudeau leaned pretty far left. Probably going to be less so going forward. But then we've got the National Democratic Party, the NDP, which is our left party, and then we've got the Green Party. And if we did ranked ballot, like right now the Conservatives can get elected on like 20% of the vote because all the left parties split the vote. And it's first past the post, and then the Conservatives get in. But if we did ranked ballot, I think it would benefit the left considerably.
Oh, do you know
so
what I
it's
prefer?
annoying that Trudeau didn't do that when he had the power. And his explanation was, oh, this is too complicated. Canadians don't understand it. I'm like, yeah, thanks. How many things do you do on the daily that Canadians don't understand?
The one I prefer is proportional representation. So every vote counts.
That's cool.
No matter where you are in the country, it counts. So if you win 25% of all of the votes available, you get 25% of the seats or thereabouts.
Yeah, that's cool until you have to decide who represents which part of the country. Then it gets complicated. So
yeah, that's the bit where
ranked ballot is the easiest thing to do within our current flawed system.
Yeah. So it's like we used to have it in London for the London elections, like with the mayor.
Yep.
It used to be like transferable. I think we call it transferable vote here. So it's like I could put, and people used to be able, and it used to be really good for doing your protest votes as well.
Vote for the guy. Who's the guy? The bin man? The bin head man?
Count Binface.
Count Binface? Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah. So he's one. So people would actually be able, because previously people actually were able to vote for him and know that then as a protest vote.
Would he run for mayor or he would run for prime minister? I can't remember.
He would run in whichever thing he wanted to run in. So you can't run for prime minister in the UK.
Oh, you have to be the leader of a party, right?
You have to be leader of the main party that forms a government.
Yeah, same.
But what he would do is he would run against the incumbent prime minister.
Oh, for the leadership of that party?
Not for the leadership of the party, but for their parliamentary seat.
Oh, in their riding. Gotcha.
So yeah, not even a write-in. They actually paid the fees to go and to actually be on the ballot. So they would actually appear on the ballot paper.
Oh, cool.
As
so
some
if,
of
like,
the
Keir Starmer is like from Slough or whatever, Binman would run in Slough.
So yeah, so one, I think Keir Starmer's in one of the London constituencies. So he would.
Flynn, I don't even know where Slough is. I just really like the name.
Yeah, or I call it Slough. Even though it's Slough, I go Slough because it's brilliant. Like the OUGH confuses a lot of people with what the pronunciation actually is.
It's because you guys change your friggin' mind about what the pronunciation is on different words.
We change it mid-word as well.
Not our fault.
Oh no. I went to a place, I'm going to spell it out, and I'm going to actually add to what you actually think the pronunciation is. So I actually lived in this place for 3 years. So it's LOUGHBOROUGH. I'm going to put it in for chat as well.
Loughborough?
Nope.
Oh, it's going to be like Loughborough.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, Loughborough.
Got it. Listen, buddy, I have been made fun of for Leicester Square.
Oh, have you had Marylebone? Have you seen the spelling for that
Isn't
one?
it Marleybone? That one's not that bad,
That's
is it?
what it's spelled like, but it is Marylebone. Trust me, you got a dyslexic here, tries to read it, and it's just I can't.
Oh, what was the one? There was one near Warwick. I lived in Warwick for a
Worcester?
time. No, there's
Worcester?
one beside Warwick, and it was something Spa, Leamington Spa, Leamington Spa.
Yeah,
No, that's
Leamington
not a weird
Spa.
one. I thought that was a weird name.
But with Loughborough, I've heard it called so many things. Called it Loughborough. Like Diana just put in chat. I've had it called Luga Baruga.
Luga Baruga is a good one. You should change to that.
Loughborough.
Loughborough?
Yeah. So there was like it gets the Mick taken out of it all the time, but it's hilarious because the funniest bit
With
is
good reason. With good reason.
oh yeah, but it's like but any people who know sport in the UK, and it's just like, oh, where'd you go? What did you do sport? Or where did you go to university? Oh, I went to Loughborough. Oh, you must have been really good at sport then. Everyone just knows it as a sport university, even though it does other things in sport. Everyone knows it for sport.
Okay.
Because we have like the Olympic athletes use facilities at Loughborough for training because we've got some of the best in the UK.
Where is it near?
This
Near
is another
London?
joke for it. It's between Nottingham and Leicester.
Oh, there you go.
And so one of the guys I went to uni with, he was like a design student.
Yep.
And one of the bits he did was he designed some T-shirts and stuff. One of them was, "Where's Loughborough?" It's between Nottingham and Leicester. It was actually on his T-shirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The city is.
We have it used to call it a suburb or like a region of Toronto. Well, I'm gonna put it in the chat. So we have a region of Toronto.
Daka Black is going now. Oh, that's Scarborough.
Yo, you're going snowshoeing? I'm so jealous. Have a great time. Yeah, we call it Scarborough.
Yeah, it's actually pronounced Scarborough. We've actually got a place in the UK called it.
So it's Scarborough, and apparently people in the UK freak out when we call it Scarborough because they're like, it's Scarborough.
Yeah, I just did that.
Flynnhammer,
I just did that to you.
How do you pronounce this?
Toronto.
Wrong. It's Toronto.
What? Where's the A?
Toronto.
Where's
Pronounce
the A?
Toronto. That's how you know if someone's from Toronto. Well, I did a little bit more there, but like people call it Toronto or they call it Toronto. No one calls it Toronto. Hold on a sec. Can you have a chat with the chat for a second? I gotta talk to Nora.
Yeah. We got it. Can I come to your ones till when Nick's back? Because I know he's interested in that. Diana, you can apply for a tax refund from the country of purchase, and VAT is only charged from a certain value. Diana, I am too lazy to apply to another country to get tax back. And I've saying about the VAT bit, but I will say, lucky enough that I haven't really had much issue with funds, or not funds, with HMRC
Right, I'm back.
recently by going to get tax because somehow stuff's just slipping through without getting checked properly. So you're back, Nick. So
wait,
teal.
radon, is that Ypsilanti? Is that right? I only know it because it's a Sufjan Stevens song.
Yeah, I can't even read that word, radon. But I'm going to come back while we're on the topic of pronunciations, Nick.
Yeah.
Diana's put one in there.
Rising of Conus. I'm just reading Radon's thing about his grandfather. I don't know about the uprising in Conus. Oh, we're talking about aluminum?
Wrong. Well,
aluminium.
To be honest, I say
we should get
wrong.
some petrol while we're at it.
Do you know why it got changed? Why it's be pronounced differently to you guys?
No idea.
But it will be pronounced different to the Yanks.
I'm not a Yank, thank
you. Anyone who pronounces it that way is a Yank in that regard for pronunciation.
You can go Yank yourself, Flynn.
The guy who invented it, or found it, didn't have the extra I in it. Comes over to the UK as the extra I in. So that's why we pronounce it differently.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, that's the story about it, really. But the other bit about spelling stuff with Americans, like I know the whole thing why that's actually the case. So the reason why...
So I've told you before that you shouldn't call Canadians Americans, right? It's not okay.
I know it's not okay.
Like you don't call Kiwis Australians.
You do if you want to wind them up.
You got no better way to piss off a Canadian than calling them an American. Especially now that Trump's all like, oh, we're going to invade Canada. We're going to take Canada on. Canada's the 51st state.
Yeah, that's going to wind you up a bit. I know. I wind you up with a protonid. That was hilarious because it was all in good jest. The Yank beers, I started to leave that one away. No, but the reason why the Americans spell things without U's and certain things, do you know the reason behind it?
No.
I'll give you one guess.
Revolution.
Nope. Money. So, for like printing presses and everything else, it costs if something was longer, it costs more. So, if you think about it, it costs per letter.
So real?
With words like color.
Theory.
No, this is actually real. With words like color, it was easy. People would know what you're saying without putting the U in. So what they ended up doing was to do the whole bit of you'd put the O, they'd get rid of the U, and they'd put it without it, but you'd still know they're saying color. And over time, that just became part of the standardized language. But in the UK, they were still spell things correctly. Like for example, if you know in like a lot of...
Then why was the U persistent in Canada? We have huge American influence on our culture. Why would we keep the U?
How long were you part of the British Empire until?
1867.
Exactly why, because that started happening as soon as like the Americans did the revolution. Bullshit. Anyway, but also this actually relates to like how some countries have like A and E as connected.
Yeah.
When
that's called something. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, that's also to do with printing. Because it was always so common for those two letters to appear together, printing presses made blocks where the letters would appear, but to make sure they still fit in the same space, they would squeeze them together and put them right next, join them up. That's why you have those letters that are connected in those languages.
I think French does that.
I know French does it because I remember I had to learn it. With the A and the E. So there's quite a few of those sort of things that happen.
Cool.
Yeah. Now, Teal Prince actually says, in regards to the language bit, so along the coast they speak Swedish. And they say some 5% of Finns are natively Swedish speaking. It's a second national language.
Really? I did not know that. Holy cow. Okay, that's cool.
So
Interesting.
There's a. I just want to make sure
Language
before
maybe.
I say this. Okay, yeah. So here's the fun bit. So Finland, Sweden, and Norway share a border point. So do you know about this, Nick?
There's a point where they all touch?
Yes, there's a point where all the borders touch.
Did not know
Now,
that.
so you know how some people, have you seen the bit in The Simpsons where Homer jumps over when he's in Australia, and he jumps over at the line where the embassy is, America, Australia, America, Australia?
Yeah.
So obviously, if you could find a point where you could do that with several places, you would do that bit of you could run around and say you're in these different countries.
Yeah, they do
Well,
that in there's a place where there's 4 states that meet. 4
yeah,
corners or something in the
but for that point, you're still in one
same
country,
country. Yeah.
just different states. Now, with this point in for Finland, with the Scandinavia, for Finland, Norway,
Norway,
and
Sweden?
Sweden, this point does exist, but it's on a lake.
Oh, smart.
So what they've actually done is they've got a cairn in the middle of this lake or river, and and then they've got like a little wooden bit around it, so you can actually run around that bit, going, I'm in this country, I'm in this country, I'm in this country.
That's funny.
Yeah. You know, as soon as they realise it, like, we're building this because people are going to do something silly.
I learned recently that Canada and Denmark have been like not really fighting, but like low key contesting. Oh, here we go. I found it. It's near Kilpisjärvi or Peltsastugorna.
I think I know what you're going to talk
The
about.
park is Malan. Is that Uno Pisto? Free Country Cairn. There you go. I found it.
Yeah.
Let's see a picture of it. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a pretty bad picture. Come on, get wide. Why is it so uptight? Oh, frozen. Oh, okay, it's frozen. You can, yeah, that's neat. It looks like it's in the middle of nowhere, though.
Yeah, it's in the middle of a lake.
Well, it looks like it's in the middle of a marsh, to be exact.
Yeah.
That's
That's what a lot of natural
Cool.
borders are. They're just like, okay, this area, yeah, we're going to divide it across this place here. Like, if you notice, like the maps for dividing between African countries,
Yeah.
where there's a desert, it's just a straight line because there's no way they can actually maintain a border, and the desert is a natural like divider between the countries.
So it looks like though it's like the 3 country point. It's easiest to get there from Finland.
Yeah.
You got to approach by water from Norway or Sweden.
Yeah.
Oh wait, but does the road run through Sweden?
I don't know.
It looks like the road runs through Sweden, goes into Finland, and then goes to the cairn. Cool. I like that. Closest to Narvik.
Yeah. Your bit you're going to say about the Canadian Denmark. They leave gifts for the other when they come to take down the flag and change it over, don't they?
It was whiskey. They called it the Whiskey War.
Yeah.
It's like an island between Greenland and is it Northwest Territories or Nunavut? Oh no, Northwest Territory, Nunavut. So it was an island between Nunavut and Greenland. And they would like put whiskey bottles there or something.
Yeah.
And they apparently they figured it out recently. They're not beefing anymore there. That's why it was in the news. See, America, this is how real countries deal with conflicts about borders.
Have a laugh and a joke.
Yeah.
So Electra Dust Bunny goes, why does Britain have a royal family?
Oh man, if you could answer that question.
Okay. 1, tradition. The easiest answer. 2, it's actually part of our like constitution, if you want to call it that. We don't actually have a constitution.
Yeah, but the Queen's part of our constitution too, but she's just a figurehead, man.
Oh shit,
right. I
She
don't.
passed away.
That's fine. She'll be my queen. Always my
Yeah.
queen, Lizzie. I hate the monarchy. To be clear, I think
Yeah.
it's the stupidest thing.
Yeah, like if you're not in the UK, like the monarchy's pointless for you.
No, the
'Cause-
monarchy's pointless in the UK as well, man. Like, I've met a lot of British people who believe the monarchy is useless.
Oh, like they serve a ceremonial purpose,
Okay.
which is their main point. That's all they really
Ronald
do. Is they serve a
McDonald
ceremonial
also serves a
purpose.
ceremonial purpose.
Yeah, but the other bit is they own so much land in the UK. That's part of the reason why we keep them around. Because if we were to go and go, oh, we don't need you anymore.
Just nationalize that
So much
shit.
land,
Nationalize it.
so much. You can't.
You can.
They have.
You're afraid, but you can.
No,
Talk to the
the
Americans.
laws
Just
is
have a revolution.
yeah, but the laws is you actually have to go and purchase it from them as a compulsory purchase order. But what they actually do is they lease the land back to the UK and don't really charge much to us. But that's why they have that stipend of funds they take from the UK to be able to live.
So Flynn's
It's
a
a whole.
monarchist. Understood.
Oh no, I'm not a monarchist.
Okay.
I'm a realist of what the actual point is. If the effort to get rid of the royal family, to not have them anymore, is not worth the gains that you have currently of what the perceived gains you would get of not having a royal family.
So they're like your mob boss.
Well, technically, we make money off them.
Sure.
By the land because they let us take all the money off for them. Basically, we're their mob boss theoretically. But as soon as we go like, oh no, we don't want you anymore, they then actually have all the power because they have all the money. While they have ceremonial power, they can still theoretically turn up to Parliament and go, "I'm dissolving you, goodbye," and would have a civil war again.
Nice. That would go over real well. They
Oh
can't.
yeah,
They can't do anything. Technically,
yeah,
they can do lots of things. Practically, nothing.
They have ceremonial power, and that's why it's just they give a lot of because they have the royal, not warrant, but it's, you'll see sometimes with some goods they will be like approved by the Prince of Wales or by the King, etc. And it's like it's a signal of like this is exemplary, like
A scam.
products and
It's a scam. It's a patronage scam, is what it is.
yeah, it's a patronage, just the
The
word.
patronage scam is what it is. The royal family is a joke. You want to learn more about it, Electro Dust Bunny, you can go and look them up on Wikipedia. We're not wasting any more time talking about the royal family on this.
Yeah. Radon goes, the only queen that should be respected is Betty White. Rest her as well.
What about the Norn Queen? Norn Queen.
Yeah.
What else is going on in the chat?
That's what I'm looking at. Teal says it's a pretty old dialect of Swedish too, so we use some old words that Swedes no longer use.
That's cool. I like
some
that.
borrowed words from Finnish.
That's cool.
Then just on that bit, Electra goes the next question of it. Did someone long ago just say, "I'm king now"?
Yes. Yes. That's exactly how every royal family works. Someone long ago said, I'm king now because God said so. That's exactly how every royal family works. Sometimes they say they're descended from the sun, like in Japan. Sometimes, I don't know what. Royal families are like nonsense.
So typically what would actually be is you'll get to that point where someone will be like, it's divine right, that's why I'm your leader. And it was just like you got luck by birth, because what it would be is at some point back in history, one of their ancestors was selected to lead their tribe. They won fights, they won wars, they had kids, and they selected their kid to be it, and then their kid got selected, and then after a while it got to the point of we're always going to be putting this person forward for it, because they got into a position of we trust this family.
Nepotism.
Exactly that. And that's what happens. And that's why you have royal family. As I say, it's tradition that we still have one. Anyway, we're going back to that topic we want to get off.
Wait, you wanted to talk about the reveals?
Yes.
Let's do it. I'm not looking at them. Can you pull them up and not to show, just to run through them?
While I am pulling them back up, all I want to say is, because tomorrow is the Elder are going up on pre-order.
Oh damn! I need to buy some warp spiders.
Yes, I was going to say for warp spiders, but also don't bother.
No. Like I owe warp spiders to stream hosts.
Yes,
because
for work
they were like, they're going to be plastic
goes.
warp spiders, and I said plastic warp spiders are never happening. If they happen, I'm buying you some.
Yeah. Now, if you live in North America, you can use Nick's affiliate link with Fenris Workshop handily in the description for this video.
There you
and
go,
also, he has a discount code.
Getting back
Is
on
it Pink
topic.
10?
Trying to win over my affection after mentioning the royal family on. Good man.
That was the Electro Dust Bunny.
What? That was Electro Dust Bunny?
He asks about royal family.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant Electro Dust Bunny was plugging Fenris. I'm like, what?
No, I'm plugging Fenris, but I'm doing the plugging. Speaking of which, we need to get you someone in the UK you're affiliated to.
Apparently. Yeah, please consider using the Fenris Workshop code. It actually works. It actually helps. I've said this before, but Fenris Workshop is the #1 supporter of this channel. I mean, it took them some time to surpass Symbio Joe, because Symbio Joe is Captain Money. But yes, I can guarantee you that Fenris Workshop has donated more to this channel than anyone else. So if you just go and buy your miniatures from Fenris Workshop, or you buy your tools, your paints, whatever in the States, because Games Workshop tells them they can't sell miniatures to the United States. Well, no, they can't sell Games Workshop new miniatures to the United States. They can sell you used stuff all day. And you can buy your paints from them, all kinds of stuff. Every time you use that link that's in the chat, a little bit of your purchase gets paid back to the channel. And like I say, they have contributed way more than anyone else to this channel. And they're sponsoring my Adepticon sessions with loot for all the participants. So Fenris Workshop is super awesome. Consider using the referral link in the description of this video. And there is a code if you've never purchased from them before. You can get, I can't remember if it's 10% or 15% off your first order. It's down there too. But you can only use it on your first order. So consider it wisely before you place that order. Make sure you can make the most of that one-time discount.
Just also make sure you do not have like Honey or these other places, these other like add-on apps in, because they will stop the affiliate link working for Nick if you go and use their check for discounts.
I didn't know about that.
With their own.
I know nothing about Honey.
Do you know about that?
Thanks, Flynn.
Oh, it's been a big thing about it. It was all over YouTube for a bit. Basically, millions, potentially billions, had been stolen from creators because they advertise Honey. People would install Honey on their bits and on their browsers. And when they go to discount, you click it to get the discounts, and it would override the referral links.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah. But moving on to fun news.
Yep.
Is the previews from Las Vegas.
So I have something to confess. I had no idea this preview stream was happening. And I consider that a bone of pride. That I have been like rabid Games Workshop fanboy for far too long. And I'm very proud of myself for not realizing there was going to be a preview. So like the previews. I'm patting myself on the back vigorously about that. Yeah. Oh, also Flynnhammer, I got to call it at 6:45.
Oh, that's fine.
Sorry, in 20 minutes. Less than 20 minutes.
No, that's right. So there was a fair few bits that were covered. So I'm just going to give you the areas that were covered, and then you can say you want it. So there was Age of Sigmar.
We thought.
With some new Bone Boys.
Bone Boys, they're one of my favorite ones. I don't know why, but I really like them. The new skeletons and like vampire count stuff. I'm a big fan of those. I can't tell you why, but I think they were one of my favorite things that was shown.
Yeah, it's very much Cursed City vibes for them. And someone did point out that these ones feel more like Graveguard
Was that
skeletons.
Shane? It
I
was that Dwarfenage?
I don't know, but
Mausoleum?
I remember
Shit.
seeing it somewhere. Someone pointed it out.
Yeah, we were talking
And
about it
it does make
on the Discord. I think Mausoleum gave his read on all these.
The zombie dragon, I do love those wings.
It's pretty cool. I don't know if I like it as much as the old one. It looks a little like something about it confused me.
I like it
it's-
more than the old one.
Pretty cool. The old one has a lot of cool bits.
The old one's got a cool bit, but it does feel like if you looking at both of them together, the old one does feel very Fisher Price. Just because this one's got a lot more detail put into it,
Yep.
especially with the hands and the claws. That's why I like it a lot better. Like they do look really good for vamps, which I'm happy for. So then they also have some Black Library models.
Pass. It wasn't just some
Which-
Imperial Guard lady that I thought we already had a model for.
So the second model for Minskaleska, then you also had a model for some Malenth Witchblade, who's from the new Goat Trek books.
Is this the Stormcast?
No, she's not Stormcast. She's a
Because I don't
Dark
care about
Elf?
Stormcast. I will never care about Stormcast.
she's a Daughters of Cain. She's a Dark Elf in my.
Really? I thought she looked like a
Yes.
Stormcast. Am I thinking of the wrong model?
You're thinking of the wrong model. Yeah, but that one doesn't look too bad. But I try to get into the Go Trek for Age of Sigmar, and I'm just like it's too different. I know they had the whole he's woken up, etc. It just felt off.
No idea.
To me, it didn't feel.
No idea. Literally.
Yeah.
No idea. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's right. So that's those ones. And they had talked about high elves for the old world.
Pass.
With stuff that's returning. Now the other bit with the old world, they did show their what's it called?
Map or something?
That's the one, roadmap, where they show that the next two armies, which we already knew, is Wood Elves and Beastmen.
Mm-hmm.
But also they had a third box on the roadmap,
Supposed to be Cathay.
which is saying it's got like a little bit from a Cathay artwork picture, which people have gone to say Cathay's coming. Which, to be honest, I can see the reason why, because it wasn't like it was just the general background. It was a specific box, and that was the image in that box, and it didn't link into the background. So I can see why why people are going to Cathay, and I'm like, yeah, I'm behind it because it's a
Cool.
whole brand new army of brand new models, which can only mean one thing for us: more bits to play around with.
True. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, they did talk about armies on parade.
Which was weird. Why was there an Armies on Parade preview?
What time of year is it?
January.
When does armies on parade happen?
September. August? I don't know. They keep moving it up. Is it in
October.
June now?
October-ish, but it gives people enough time because it's like July in-store submissions open. October in-store celebrations begin, and November is the online awards ceremony. So it's giving people enough time to get orders in. It's like they gave extra time for Golden Demon as well this year because they've changed up categorizations for stuff.
Okay. This
So
is
it
not
gives
interesting
people
to me. Let's
early
move
enough.
on.
Yeah. So that's what I was found a bit. Now, new Ashwade's Nomads.
That stuff's kind of cool. They have those neat little bugs. They have like the conversion sprues are always a gift. There's always cool stuff on those like weapon sprues that you can use for other stuff.
Whenever I see the Nomads, I think of
I don't like the Nomads. I think they're too stumpy. I think like they should have been made more like tall, willowy, flowy, but they just look like little kids that are wearing garbage bags. I think they could have been so much cooler, and I'm disappointed every time I look.
Have you seen this Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd film?
Yes.
You know the bit where they go into the wastes?
Don't. I've seen it. I don't
Okay.
remember that part. I've only seen it once.
Yeah. There's a bit where he goes into the wastes. The guy, one of the other police judges who's gone in there before him, he meets up with them. It's just like I get these vibes from the people who live in the wastes from that, and that's what I always just get from Necromunda is it's a Judge Dredd basically, but
Yeah.
it's miniatures again. So that's why getting those vibes, which I kind of like. But also the little millipedes, I do
Millipedes are
like as
damn cool. The little bugs are cool. They can live.
like new river models.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are those ones. They've previewed a new Bray Shaman for Beastmen
That
with a
model
familiar.
is great. That model is sick.
Yeah. Thought you didn't like the old world.
I like the wizards.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, they got released last week. The
Oh,
Wizards.
did they? Oh, don't tell me.
Yeah.
I have to buy them.
But they came out as like you had to get one wizard and it's familiar, but you can choose which wizard you're wanting. But one of them did sell out very quickly. I think that was the one with the gnome.
Oh, that's probably the one I wanted. Oh well.
Yeah. It's out of stock for a little bit, but we'll be back. And Horus Heresy, the Thanatar automaton thing, which I don't think either of us care about.
Which? Oh no,
Big-
I like the robots from Adeptus Mechanicus, but I like the other one more. The one that's got that weird giant plasma gun on its back. The one they already released.
Well, this one it's the same model, but
Mhm.
instead of plasma gun, it's got a different big gun on him.
That one weird, like, it's got that, I think its right hand is like a big, like, tissue box with some guns in it. I kind of like
Yes.
that bit. I don't know why. It looks like a piece of industrial machinery that's been repurposed as a weapon, which is always my bag.
Yeah.
So that part's cool, but I generally like the other one more because it's got that big, weird plasma gun.
Yeah. I think it's just like, yeah. Because I've known my brother's got the other one, but it's just like a plastic thing for it. I think it's just a different bit for it. Anyway.
Yep.
They previewed the leaked Nurgle guy, who's actually called the Lord of Poxes.
That's a really cool model. I like that model.
Yeah. So apparently, for Nurgle, they have lords for different. Mortarion has lords for different things, and they're
Okay.
named after specific like warfares.
Yep.
And so you've got the Lord of Contagion, Poxes, and others. Hey, I like it, but I just don't. This is gonna. I can tell you, he's gonna be in box set jail.
Of course.
And it's just that I don't see the point in it.
You're doing
It's
the thing they
just-
did with the Gene Stealer cults, where there's like 50 million characters.
Yeah.
That it's
Here's a
really
box
easy
set
to
jail.
release a new.
Yeah. I just don't enjoy box set jail. It's just if you're going to release a model, release it straight away on its own rather than mate. If you want to get it straight away, either I have to buy the whole box set that comes with it,
Mhm.
or I have to go to eBay and wait months, or I wait months for it to come out later. I just don't see the point in a box set jail. But then lastly, the big thing, the Emperor's Children.
I would
Which-
wanted to be more impressed by them. I was not that impressed.
Yeah, with the
Like I like that they use the old aesthetic.
yeah.
Definitely, I really like that. But some of them, like there's that one where it's supposed to be like a character and it's got like an organ on his back or something, and he's got like weird guns on his hands that look like claws. Terrible. Terrible model. It looks like it was sculpted in the 90s.
I can't remember the name. I know the exact one because I'm looking at it
Flamvis
right
or something,
now.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Calamity
it's
Loud.
the Lord Cockphonophonist.
Cockphonoconist?
Yeah, because the whole bit they're trying to lean into now is Slanesh is not just hedonism. It's like pleasure and excess. So like sound and everything, you listen to it to the extremes.
Yeah.
Of everything. So that's what they're trying to lean into. So I can see why, because it matches more up with what their 30k stuff is, which I get. But I get what you're saying. It's like I kind of was disappointed by it too, because when they did Chaos, they updated the Chaos Codex. It's like, oh, they're missing. They may be coming soon, and it's like, oh, cool. We're gonna get a really good upgrade and everything. And it was just like, this is it. Because everything else that had recently been done kind of hyped us up to levels higher, and it was like, oh, especially like when you get the reaction to Fulgrim's face.
Oh yeah, it was a little.
Because if you compare him to his Forge World resin model, and then you look at his 30k is this model. It's just like, I'm more tempted to go for the Forge World model over this one, even though the Forge World model would be a lot more delicate. Just the Forge World one looks better.
So,
But that was the last bit of the reveals.
while we were talking about this, I went on to the Games Workshop website. The wizard that I wanted is still available. It's actually the one I wanted most is the only one still available. Necromancer was pretty cool. The Battle Wizard was good, but the Elementalist was my boy with the frog. Someone else said they want the frog. I think Tom said he wants the frog.
Yeah,
so cool.
Yeah, that is different to the one I was thinking you were going.
Yeah, he's my boy. He's my boy. The Necromancer is cool, but the standard wizard is kind of plain. He's fine. He's like from Warhammer artwork or something. I've seen him, but
yeah, I think it's because you're in Canada. Because I've got both Elementalist and Necromancer still available, but Battle Wizard is. I thought you would have gone for Battle Wizard because of the gnome for Nora.
Got a gnome?
Battle Wizard's got a gnome.
Let's see. They're cool. Listen, I respect all these wizards. The Battle Wizard looks cool.
Oh yeah.
How can you tell there's a gnome? I can't see anything under all the books and stuff.
Because you see the height of him. It's not a dwarf. It's a gnome. With the nose and the moustache matches exactly how they've designed the models for the gnomes in Blood Bowl.
Cool.
Which is I think is brilliant. It's just like the gnome.
Electro Dust Bunny, I think you're in the States. So if you want to get a Toxicrene, Tyrannifex, and some Gene Stealers from Tennis Workshop, you're gonna have to buy them used. I don't think they can sell you the.
I thought Electro was in Mexico.
Oh, Mexico?
Yeah.
I thought Electro was in. I don't know if they can ship to Mexico. I know they can ship to Canada, and I know they can't ship to the United States. Good question about Mexico.
And I believe with Toxicrene, you can only get that online from Games Workshop.
Ooh.
So it's very unlikely you'll get it from a third-party retailer.
Ooh.
Anyway.
Dan Kaplinger is saying it was a great breakdown of the skeletons on Discord. So Dan, Mausoleum, the artist formerly known as Dwarfenage, is like as obsessed with Tyranids as I am. Dwarfenage, Mausoleum is that obsessed with death stuff, like Nagash, vampire counts, all that. So when I was trying to understand like all the vampire counts, death stuff, Mausoleum like made me this like cute, like he basically made a video just for me where he like put like some Warhammer art in it and like did this like long treatise where he explained all the different like death vampire count stuff to me. I really appreciated it. So yeah, I'm really glad he did that breakdown of the new skellies on our Discord because he's an expert. So I just wanted to flag that because I saw it in the comments. The extra Dust Bunny Stormcasts are good for giving female heads to Space Marines. That's a good idea. Tom wants the Frog Familiar. So do I. Joshua Reyna says it's marvelous. I think that's about the Frog Familiar. At least Death Guard can be effective without their 50 plus characters. I guess that's a dig at Gene Stealers only being effective with 50 characters.
Yeah.
Electro Bunny likes 90s minis, me too, but we're in the year 2025. Like these miniatures, they're fine, but I was expecting a little more. My camera just died, and I don't really want to like put in a new battery.
No, and it's also 22.
Oh, and it's time to shut down. All right, listen. Wait.
Like your camera knew.
Let me see if I can do a thing. Let me see if I can break everything. I'm going to break everything. I'm going to swear blind the next time I have to like set up the stream because I'm going to be like, why is this on this stupid camera?
Yeah. Well, while Nick's breaking
look at
things,
this.
if you've been enjoying the stream, like it. Drop a comment if you're watching the VOD later.
Thank you. And if yes.
Share it around and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one.
Please.
Don't want to miss the one.
I'm Mr. Pink, otherwise known as. Do a little bit of this. Do a little bit.
You're upside down.
There we go. Hi, I'm Mr. Pink, otherwise known as Modern Synthesis. Thanks for joining the stream. I gotta run. Gotta go have dinner with Nora. This was good. Good hangout. Good chat. I got some mostly filler green stuffing work done on my big bad red dragon, but glad to be working on it again. Flynnhammer, thank you for taking the time to hang out with me and chat with me.
Yeah, that's all right.
Thank
Didn't
you
get
to
much
everyone in
done
the
for
chat.
Sculpting.
Right now, I see Dan Kaplinger, Electro Dust Bunny, Tom Wilson, Josh Reyna. I know Diana's. There's Diana. Please like, subscribe, comment, etc. Especially if you're watching the stream after the fact. Leave us a comment just to let us know. And Electro Dust Bunny does live in the US, so unfortunately Electro cannot order from new Warhammer miniatures from Fenris because Fenris is locked out of the United States. Yeah. Thank you, Flynn. Tune in next time because we're going to be celebrating the 4-year anniversary of the Creature Conference, and we've got some shenanigans planned. So look forward to talking to you then, Flynn.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye bye.